Welcome to the SuccessFactors demo. SuccessFactors is a multi-tenant, database model, or it's a cloud-based, system. And right now, I'm trying to log into SuccessFactors with using, my ID and my password. Every client will have their own company ID and as well as an ID and a password. So once you log in, your basic home page would be your default home page. You'll see a lot of portlets within the system. They're all called the portlets. You can change the portlets. You can add and remove these tiles. You can go to add and remove the tiles. For example, I click on the My Goals and I can remove the tab My Goals. So let me do that for all the things. Remove admins, remove, my info, remove my team, remove team links, remove to-do list, remove training, remove. So I'm only just keeping the welcome page right now. So you can see I have my welcome page. I can also go back to the edit custom tile, within that home page. This is my welcome tile, show tile for this group to as an admin to all employees. I can also create some groups and show this only to the groups. I can make it large, medium, or small. I can make it extra large, and I can name the title welcome demo, and I can give a description. I can put a content within that, and then I can save it. Okay. And then I'm just going to go back to home, and I should see the change here. The welcome tile has become pretty large, and I can see the welcome center message. And I can go back to add the tiles. Now I'm going to back and I'm going to add everything back. Add to my home. I'm going to go to admin favorites, add to my home, my goals, add to my home, my info, add to my home, my team, add to my home, my team links, add to my home, to-do list, add to my home, and training, add to my home. So I can customize, things like this, for as an admin, I can customize the, for myself and as well as for all other folks. And also one more thing here is within here I have the options menu. In the options menu, I can customize things such as start page. My start page here, I'm looking at my home page, but I can make my start page as my goals page. And I'm going to save it now. I can also create a sub tab configuration. So sub tab is basically, you can choose which sub tab you can see when you click on the tab. So in the homes, I have both these sub tabs, home, and so I want to see the home tab. In the goals plan, same thing. In the reviews tab, I want to see the team overview. In the talent search, I want to see, let's say, help. In here, I want to see the directory, employee files, I want to see, and the dashboards, I want to see the analytics. So this is how my sub tabs are going to show up. Notifications, these are the email notification. I would like to send our email notifications to me. I don't want to do email notifications to me. Obviously, you can choose the language. I'm US English. I can switch to any other language if I wish. I can also create some accessibility. If I'm colorblind, I can adjust my colors. I can also give proxy who can log in on my behalf. Here. I can also proxy now. I can means I'm logging into someone else. So for example, Carol Clark. So I'm going to be viewing SuccessFactors as Carol by proxying into that particular account. Okay. And I can same thing. I can log out of that account. Now I'm gonna try and log back in again. It's my ID and a password. Okay. So now my goals page is the default login page. It used to be my home, but now it's a goals page. So as a user, you will have access to home, goals, performance, compensation, talent, company info, employee files, and reports. Only administrators have this admin tools page. but everybody else should have access to all the components based on the licensing, for you. So within the admin tools, if I go back to the admin tools, the very first thing is manage employees. In the manage employees, I can set user permissions. I can look at compensation management permissions, for example. Let's say, for example, there is an employee 1. I can go to individual employee. I can go into an employee 1, username is employee 1, and search, and compensation is currently active for that particular employee called employee 1. And there is an employee 2 as well, search, and compensation is active for that employee 2. And there's an employee 5, and compensation is not active, but I'm going to grant compensation to that particular employee. So that access has been granted to the employee. I'm going to go back to the admin tools now.
Hari, I have a question
back to
on
set
that.
permissions. I'm going to go back to set permissions. Okay. I'm going to be giving access to the dashboard reports now to all the employees. Let's say, for example, this is the same employee. I'm just going to click on individual user. I'm going to select all users. I'm going to select individual user. I'm going to select employee 1, search. So this is how I'm going to give access to that particular employee. Employee 1 is in the division task, department task. So uCalc and tiles, so they can do all. Spotlight view, all reports. Ad hoc reports, all reports. Run reports, all reports. Ad hoc report, build advanced reports, cross-domain reports, and multi-data set reports. Okay, so I'm giving full permission to this particular employee, and I'm saving that. Okay, I'm going to go back here. Again, I'm going to check if I can do some other settings. I'm going to run the detailed reporting privileges report. Again, I'm going to search for employee 1. So employee 1 permissions. So let me see. You can detail reports, all divisions, all departments, all locations, all HR jurisdictions, so they can view information across the board. So I saved it. No user found. Okay, I did not probably select it. I'm going to select all, and all. Okay, and detailed reports. So I'm saving permission. So detailed report permissions have been added to one of the employees, so they can view now all the information across all the departments within the company. So I'm gonna form create permissions. So who can actually create the goals forms, performance forms, the compensation forms within the system? And I'm going to same thing, look for individual employees, look for employee 1, search, and employee has all the permissions already. I'm going to grant them again. Choose a form template. Okay, so here I'm going to say that 2015 compensation plan. Let's say compensation plan. Okay, so they can create the compensation plans, employee 1, and I'm granting permissions. So now they can create compensation plans. They can create job requisitions. For example, here I'm granting permission. Search user. Okay, job requisition, the permissions were not there. I'm granting permissions for job user. So I can, change access who can create, forms within that particular module, annual review, our compensation review, our managerial review. So these are the different forms that are available within the system. I can change the permissions for the system. And for any time, I can go ahead and search in the search tool, forms, for example, launch forms, manage templates, process forms. So I can search any of these. I don't have to go through these menu paths here. I can go ahead and search directly from in the search tool. Okay, and I'm going to go back here. I'm going to look at the security permissions report, create permission to manage the home page. Here, who can manage the home page? You can set for the group of users. I can say, let's say, individual users. Again, same thing. I'm going to bring this employee one, search. They have permission to manage home page, but I can grant or revoke the permission to manage the home page. So that employee no longer can manage the home page on his own. They're going to get the default home page as assigned by the administrator. So I'm going to go back to the admin tools now. So you can assign same thing. You can assign talent access search, security permission. You can look at the security permission report. You can manage the permissions of the home page. Jam is a SAP tool for collaboration. I can also set mobile permissions. I can also goals forms, competition forms. I can also set these competition forms. I can add a delete user. This is called the UDF file, the employee data file. Here you can assign or manage users. You can manage employees. Basically, you can import, export, different users. So how the way we're going to do it is, for example, here, who is the manager for these two people? It is the SF admin. You can see SF admin, SF admin, SF admin. So a lot of people, SF admin is the manager. So you can set your hierarchy by setting someone else's manager. For example, here there is no manager. So I can go back and make, let's say, employee one as his manager. Okay, employee. So now, this person's manager now is employee one. I can set the hire date. I can set the department. For example, I can add brand new department. Let's say product development. Product development division. I can add a new division. Say our research. Okay. Title. Let's say, because he's reporting to somebody, just say analyst. Okay, and I can set the hire date. Okay, let me set the hire date in the past. Let's say 2012 or something like that. Okay. And save it. So now, if you go to the org structure for employee one, he should have one report or one person reporting to him, directly within the system. So I can go back here. I can go back to employee files now. Okay. I can go back to into company information, org chart. Okay. You can see all these people now reporting to SF admin. There are 5 people reporting to SF admin, and if I go look at the search the employee one. Okay, now employee one should have a one person reporting to that employee one. Okay, so and double clicking on that, and right now I don't see it, but it should have, employee one should have one direct report. Shows the who's reporting to who. You can also go into the company directory and look at all the different people, find out their reporting pattern, and you can also search the directory employee one. So you can see the public profile, of that particular person. You can also see the org chart for that person. Okay, how people are reporting to him. So let's go back to the admin tools again. Here in the manage user report, you can import, export users. It is something called a UDF file. You can import the managers. You can export the managers. You can also manage employee groups. Groups are used for security. You have the roles, and you can create groups. You can assign the roles to the groups, and you can control the security in the roles as to who can see certain activities within this. There is a group name called manager, and you can look at that particular group. There are 13 members. You can manage the profile for this particular group. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. So the basic mastery includes setting user permissions, creating the users. You can create manually, or you can upload directly from the file. You can manage forms by the user, who can create the 360-degree process. We can create the manage goal plan template. We can change the form templates. So you can change the roadmap. You can set all these things for the different users. You can also reset a user account. You can change the user password. You can also do the proxy management. Other than that, if you go to the company settings, these are all where all the main settings for the company are before you start any other activity within the system, such as goal management, performance management, or compensation management. You have to perform these basic activities. You can upload a template. You can replace any text within the system and with any text that you want. For example, manage support access. You can say manage system access, or manage technical access. So you can change any of these words here using text replacement. You can change the rating scales. Rating scales are how you rate certain person within the goals management module, within the performance management module, within the compensation management module. The recommended approach is 1 to 5 scale, but you can use a 1 to 3 scale, or you can use your own custom scale. In here I have a R3 is a 1 to 3 rating scale. I also have 1 to 5 rating scale. You can also create your own custom, create a new rating scale and then create your own rating scale later on. So rating scales are very important in the performance management section when you go to actually rate the particular employee. You can also change the password login policies. You can also do the org chart configuration. A route map is a workflow. This kind of is very critical in the system. Will let you create how certain forms, templates will get routed from one place to another place, called the modify the route map. And you can also manage the home page. We already looked at it. You can also create job roles. Job roles are basically managers, directors, senior managers. So there are many job profiles within the system that come by default. For example, he's an executive, individual contributor, and manager. So these are the different roles that people will perform within the system, and these job roles are very important for assigning the competencies within the system. So which job role should exhibit which core competencies, and which certain competencies you manage using the job codes. So once you have done the basic configuration of the mastery, you have set the user permissions, you have imported, updated the users, you manage the access to the forms, you have completed the basic settings such as upload the company logo, rating scales, and also the route maps, and all these different settings. You can go into the goals management. So the three things that we're going to go over. One is the goals, second is the performance management, and third is the compensation management. So the cycle is that you create the users, you set the user permissions, you set the company profiles, create the job roles, rating scales, route maps, and then you go ahead and go to goal management, and then say manage templates within the goal management section. In the goal management section, you can go ahead and create basically goal templates. Goal templates are customizable per per company. I'll go into the goal plan. These are all the different templates that are already existing within the system. I'm going to go into my 24-15 goal plan, and the way I got to here is I can add new goal templates. I can do a basic goal template or I can do an extended goal template. You can do either or. Extended goal template has a goal library and also has the balanced scorecard categories. The basic one does not have any balanced scorecard categories, and it does come with a smart goal wizard. So I already created a new template. I'm going to go into the 2015 goal template, and here I can do general settings. I can start date, end date. Goals are basically for one full year, so I can set those things, and I can enable smart goals wizard in my goal template. I can set my default language for the goal template. I can customize these things. For here I have 5 different categories: financial, customer, internal business process, learning and growth, and safety. I can add others, new category, for example, research and development, or production planning, or marketing, whatever you want to add, however, goals that your company wants to do, innovation, for example, or if you're a sports performance, the number of goals that you have scored, any category customizable per your industry, per your company. I can also change the fields. These are all the fields that will show up in your goal template. The metrics. So what is the metric that I'm going to use to rate? What is the weightage I'm going to give for this particular goal? What is the start date for this goal? What is the due date for this goal? What is the percentage complete for this goal? And what is the status? Is it on track? Is it behind? Is it complete? It's fully customizable. I can delete. I can move this up and down. I can make this a required field. I can set the status of the labels. I can create milestones. So I've created a custom field called revenue. Means here you're going to be tracking the revenue. Means when you set the goal, you're going to say, I'm going to generate $100 million in goals. So you can set those things in the manage goal template section. Once the goals template has been created, it's available to the employees. So once I go into my home page, into my goals, you see the goal plan that has been assigned to you. So for example, as an admin, I have assigned to my 2015 goal plan. That's my 2015 goal plan. So I'm going to click on my 2015 goal plan that's available to me, and I've created goals. So I've added a new goal. You can do that. You can cascade the goals. Here I've already created my goals, and I've cascaded my goals to my direct employees. I've already completed this. This goal has a 25% weightage. This goal has 20% weightage, and this goal has 10% weightage. And all of them have completed my goals. And I've reviewed this with my manager. My manager agrees with my basic goals, and I have put comments and also metrics and how am I going to be rated for these particular goals. Also, my goals to be public, so anybody can see my goals. I can also make it only private if I don't want anybody to be seeing my goals. So once the goal template has been created, once I go into my goal template and create my goals, once I've completed my goals, and they can also cascade my goals back to my employees. They can also look at my goal strategy across my company or individual. Once my goal plan is done, I would go into my performance management. So before I go into the performance management, I have to go back into my admin tools, and from within the admin tools I have to go into my performance management. Here there are some very critical things. One, we have to create the rating scales, as we talked about. You have to create the route map, the workflow, how this is going to be routed, and you have to create the performance management templates. So here I'm going to go into performance review again. So I've already created my performance management templates. So performance management, if your goals are for 2014, you're going to be doing performance for 2015, so next year. So you can go into the new template. Already created these templates by clicking on the new template. I can do an annual review. I can do a manager only review. The difference between this annual review and this thing is annual review form is based on goals and objectives. That includes the core competencies and job specific competencies. Performance management always has 3 sections. When it has goals, One, it has core competencies, and 3, it has job specific competencies in here. Okay, so you can use any of these templates. So we already used those 2 here. Let's say I will click on the 2015 performance goals. Let me go back here, manage templates, 2015 performance management templates. Same thing, I would click on my general templates here. I would attach my route map, how this form is going to be routed, and I will also attach my rating scales, how the manager is going to rate this particular person. Okay, this is at my general settings. I would give it a name, and in my edits field sections, I would, this is what people can see. This is the introduction that you're going to be doing performance review. What are your objectives? Here in the objective section, I'm assigning the goal plan. This is a key thing. You need to link your goal plan back to your performance management template. So this is a very key thing. If you don't link the goals are not going to get carried over. They're going to be carried forward into your performance. So I'm linking my goals to my performance management. I'm actually creating a development plan, which is my basic development plan. I'm linking that to my development plan. Core values, I'm linking my core competencies, company's core competencies, which every employee will get rated. I'm linking that to my performance. My core competencies are acting integrity, serving customers, supporting coworkers, and working safety. And also I'm linking my job specific roles. So if I'm a manager, so I need to show my leadership skills. If I'm an R&D person, I need to do a lot of research and submit papers. So I can also do job specific competencies. And the third section is I'm going to rate these things. How 33% will go to my goals, 33% to my core values, and 33% to my job specific competencies. Total will be 100. This is how you're going to be rated. And once you save this thing, you launch the performance template, within your admin tools page. You launch the performance management template, and you can go back as a user into your performance management template. Once you launch it, you will see the performance management template right here. You can go into the performance management template. Once you go into performance management, you're reviewing the performance management of your employee, and you can rate your employee. You can rate as, on as exceeding expectations, meets expectations. You can also say, meets expectations, exceeding expectations. Depending on how the manager is performed, you can rate that person, and you can save and finish later because you have not completed others. And once you've completed it, you can send it to the next step. Once you've completed the performance, you can move this to the next step. Here the next step is typically an HR review, or it could be a director review. Depending on the workflow, you can route this to, from place to place and have this finalized and fully approved. You can see we have already completed one here in the finalized step. This is fully complete, start date, end date, and it was fully completed on 4/26/2015. Fully complete, fully done. You see, and then you have actually manager assessment is complete, one-on-one meeting is complete, employee has acknowledged the performance management template, and the management has acknowledged it, and you mark it as complete. So I created goals, I created a goal template, and then I created a goals, I completed my goals, I attached my goals to performance management template, I rated my employee, and I completed my performance management goals here completely, end to end. Okay. Once my performance management is done, I would go into my compensation management plan. So based on the performance, high performers get more money. Low performers get the least amount of money. High performance get stock options. They get one-time bonus pay. So you can create all those custom compensation management plan within the compensation management template. You go into the admin panel. You go into the compensation plan. Okay. You go into the compensation plan home, and you can create compensation templates within the compensation home. The first thing you need to do You can take a compensation plan, you can copy it, create a new compensation template, or work with an existing compensation template, and then go and modify these things. So here, um, you can set the plan, basically 2015 compensation plan. You can set the route map, how it's going to be routed within the system. This is the route map. You can also set the functional currency for this particular compensation plan. You set the start date and end date for this particular compensation plan, and you also design the worksheets, how you want your compensation worksheet to look like. What are the columns that you want to have? I want my current salary, I want my salary rate, I want my salary type, I want my unit per salary, I want to see my merits, I want to see my merit guidelines, I want to see my lump sum in my compensation worksheet, I want to see my final salary. So you want to, whatever details that you want to see in your compensation plan, you're going to design a worksheet and customize this worksheet. You can add columns, you can add the fields, and you can make sure that you're able to effectively create a good worksheet. And once the worksheet is created, you can add employees to the compensation plan. You can play around with this compensation plan, and your compensation plan will be ready. Once the compensation template worksheet is ready, you can go log back into your compensation tool. It's available to you for compensation planning. This compensation plan can be done by a compensation planning person, or it can be done by a standard hierarchy, which is your manager. So in this case, I have 3 different employees, and I have my salary type, which is annual, and I can do a merit increases for all these 3 employees. I can do a lump sum award for the 3 different employees. I can give them promotions. I can change their promotion options, and I can see their final salary, and then I can send it back to the HR for final approval. So this is called the compensation worksheet, and it has a budget, and it has a route map, how it's going to be routed, and it also has instructions on the overall compensation plan or guidelines, how you want to do the compensation. The key thing for compensation is a worksheet. You have to create a good compensation worksheet, and you have to route the compensation to the right people, to the HR, back to the executives, back to the managers. So how you want to rate these kind of compensation. Once this is done, the executives will do an executive review for this they don't have to go through individual compensation plan, and then you just print, you assign based on the budget, the annual salaries, the raises, and then you set it, and then you share that with your employees, and this will be interfaced back to SAP Core R3 SAP, so that the employees can get paid. Okay, so now I'm just gonna mute for a second here to see if there is any questions. And within the analytics section, you can look at the list views, just any views that you might have created, employee list views, goal list views. I'm generating an employee list view here in the analytics report. Just shows me all the different employees. I can go into dashboard reports. Okay, I can look at my dashboard reports. I can look at various options in my dashboard report, dashboard options, and there are a lot of variations analytics. You can look at list reports. You can look at the spotlight reports. You can create your own custom reports. You can drill down. You can add your own columns. You can save and execute the reports both online as well as offline reports. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop the recording now.